All right, y'all. We back live. You know how we do. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to, you know, your favorite podcast.
Riffin with Griffin, yeah.
Woo!
Riffin with Griffin.
Riffin with Griffin.
Riffin with Griffin, yeah.
Woo, woo.
Riffin with Griffin, baby.
Welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. It's your boy Erik Griffin. Today, I want to get caught up on the NBA, the NFL. I'm watching this weird ass documentary called Mother God on HBO. I got a new computer. I want to talk about that. There's some weird news and notes on the internet. I love doing that. But once again, we're back, and you know how we do it. As always, y'all, this is Riffin with Griffin.
Riffin with Griffin, yeah.
Wow, wow.
Riffin with Griffin.
Yeah, y'all, welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. What's going on, y'all? Wait, how come my story didn't upload? Well, whatever. I uploaded a story. Welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. Oh, I even have it on the wrong thing, too. It's supposed to be on. Man, I'm telling you. I'm just like on one today. Because I got a new computer, so it's like all like messing me up. But yeah, here's my page I like to be on when I start the show. So sorry. So there it is right there, Riffin with Griffin. Thanks for being here. You know how we do. Make sure, guys, you hit the subscribe button. That would be great. You know, subscribe to Riffin with Griffin. So, you know, I get that subscribe. You know how you do it. Twitch. We on Twitch daily. You know how we do it there too. Wait, let's see. How do you switch? This new computer, the new Macs, you can't go to like the sound thing in the up on the status bar. So that's weird. Anyways, but you can hear me, so we're good. And you know, as always, you know, I always talk about new content coming. It's so hard. At this point, look, you're supporting me, and I appreciate it. But I guarantee you, when it does happen, you're gonna be like, man, because I'm really thinking about doing a different format as I'm closing in on 300 episodes. But I'll talk about that right now. We'll just talk about it. So if you want to support this show, you could be a sub on Twitch. That's the best place to do it. Sub on Twitch, YouTube member, or Patreon. I appreciate all that support. Yeah, so let's see. What are you saying here? What's up, Eric? We're getting audio in the left ear. Oh, you're only getting audio in one ear, huh? Oh, wow. Okay, I can fix that. So sorry for people listening. You know, I got a new computer, so I got to set it up properly. I know what it is. I know how to fix it. Hold up, y'all. I know how to fix this now, baby, baby. And here we are in both ears. You get me in stereo. Man, it was like we was in like 1960. Remember when, I don't know if the older people that would listen to my podcast, if you guys remember that, they used to do, like, they used to think stereo was like certain sounds in the left ear, certain sounds in the right ear. So you might have the drums in the left ear, and then, you know, then they figured out how to do stereo and the stereo sound and all that kind of stuff. So I just had the wrong thing checked because, you know, when you get a new computer, you have to like change, you have to change it. So, but thank you, everybody. Thanks for, you know, keeping me accountable on the tech front. So welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. What's new? You know what's new is I got a new computer. I'm just going to do my Mac Mini review right up top. So I had an Intel iMac for years. You know, the thing about computers, you buy a computer on Monday and by Friday it's already obsolete because they've come out with the new technology. So, you know, the Intel Macs back in the day, they're pretty expensive because I think Mac had a deal with, so they had to pay the licensing to Intel. I don't know if it worked like that, but it just seemed like it worked like that. So, you know, those Macs were kind of expensive. You know, you can get up to $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 when you want to get the proper thing. So then Apple, they came out with their own chip, this M1 series, but they never came out with the iMac for it, so I kept my iMac. And then they came out with this Mac Mini, but I wasn't sure if I wanted it or not. See, one thing, I'm not a computer geek, and so the computer geeks out there can help me with this, but I gotta say, man, there was something that used to frustrate the hell out of me about Macs. So I remember when I bought, and I think I talked about this on many episodes ago on the podcast, but I just, this is important for this now. But I remember buying the iMac, right? And I'm in the store, and, I say, well, is this going to work? I stream, this is the stuff I do. Oh, it's going to be fun, right? And what it was is it's about the RAM. Now, this is bananas to me, okay? This is absolutely bananas to me, and I think it's a scam that Apple has been running on us since their existence, okay? So you could get an iMac, let's say back in the day, and it could have 2 terabytes of space. This super fast processor, quote unquote, for the people listening, I got my air quotes up. Super fast processor, all this stuff, and but it can have 16 megabytes of RAM. I don't know what RAM is. I don't understand why RAM has such a huge effect on the computer. But I brought it home, and this 16 megs of RAM, my computer couldn't do shit. I couldn't have like Photoshop open, let's say, with my mail and then be checking websites. It was just slow as hell. And I was like, how is this computer slow? And you're telling me that 16 more megs of RAM going up to 32 makes the computer be night and day? That's bullshit to me. That is bullshit. It's a total scam. And then they charge you, $500 more for more RAM, 600, whatever the price is. It's usually like $600 more for this 16 megabytes of RAM to probably cost them $50 at most to make the computer usable. It's so ridiculous. And I think most people out there, probably you buy that and you're like, why is my computer slow? And you don't even understand, like, why is my computer slow? This don't even make sense, right? But that's what it is, man. It's so frustrating. You know what I mean? It's like super frustrating. So anyways, cut to the M1 Mac comes out, and I see the 16 megabytes of RAM. So I'm like, uh-oh, is this going to be the same issue? And then now I don't trust the people at the Apple store to tell me, like, is this really going to work for the things that I do? Look, I stream. I'm doing my podcast live from my computer right now. So I just wasn't sure. And then I just did a bunch of research, for the last year. I've been like asking people and like checking it out. And then they came out with the M2, so they had this M2 one now with higher processor. I still got the 32 megs of RAM, which now you can go up to like 96 or whatever it is like that. So I just don't understand. If somebody could explain to me in the comments, why is it the RAM that dictates everything about the computer? It just doesn't make any sense. Random access memory, that's what it's called. Thank you. I don't understand it. Because if that's the case, then that should be the most important thing. Is it the processor? Is it the you know what I mean? Is it the hard drive space? Like, the RAM seems to be the most singular important thing in the computer that makes it operate at a speed that you just go, oh, wow, my computer is zipping around. So I got this Mac Mini. It's really little, what I like about it. It's actually portable. If I wanted to take it on the road with me, I could. It's got like a HDMI out, so you just put that out you could probably put that out to the TV, or if you have a little monitor that you want to bring with you, or you could have like a little streaming thing, then you could just hook it right into your computer. I don't know. If you have a laptop or something to use. Oh, actually, you could just use your laptop as a monitor. So the new Mac operating system, this is pretty cool. So I had my iMac, and then I had these 2 monitors here. So I use one for gaming, one for like stuff while I'm doing it, right? And then I had my iMac. So while I was working with the Mac Mini, trying to transfer things over and making sure I had everything on the new computer, my mouse, I noticed I went to like display, and all on the new Mac Mini, the iMac showed up as a display. So it was like all 3 of them were working together, and the mouse and keyboard was connected to all of them. I was like, mind blown. So like this new Mac software is pretty great. So like if you had your laptop sitting next to your computer, it would just recognize it, and all of a sudden now the mouse and keyboard would work for all of it. So I think that's pretty dope in terms of the new operating system. I don't know what they're on. They always have some weird Apple name for them. But I would say this Mac Mini is a great computer. The only downside, because you can get, like, you don't have to spend an amount of money that I spent, because I spent about $2,000 on this, right? You could get a lesser version operate, because depending on what you're doing with it, and they're still apparently they're super powerful, The only downside is you have to buy a good monitor, and that's where they get you. So if you want to buy the Mac monitor, that sucker is expensive. They're like $1,500 just for like this. So I don't know. I kind of suggest you like go to like Best Buy, look on Amazon, and find yourself like a good gaming monitor with high megahertz and refresh rate, and just use that as opposed to spending $1,500 on the Mac. So that is the one thing that I was like, I don't know about that. But I still have these monitors, and I'm not super happy with my monitors, but for what it does, I'm happy with it right now. So anyways, that's what's going on there with my little Mac Mini. Yeah, so like I see somebody in the chat talking about it. Ram is my buddy Chris. That's my producer guy who makes a lot of great beats, right? What's up, man? RAM is what is best used by applications like Chrome, Excel, gaming, etc. Chrome web browsers can use 500 megabytes of RAM of the total. That's what I'm saying. So like, you got to have good RAM, because some of these applications turn on and it just bog down your system, But just to give you an example, so I have my web browser going right now. I have my Wirecast, which I'm streaming to you guys, and I have a bunch of websites open. That's how I look to get my information while I'm online with you guys. And then this program Wirecast will tell me my CPU usage. So right now I'm at 31% CPU usage, and that's pretty great considering all this stuff that I have going on right now. So, yeah, somebody said, Sean Canada in the chat said those monitors are great for digital artists. And I totally get that. Like, if you're a graphic designer or something like that, or you're a movie editor, you want to have like actual what it looks like on the screen is what it's going to look like. Because then you would be off. You're like editing like color and stuff, and then you look and you're like, oh, this looks great. And then somebody with a really good monitor, or what it's going to look like on the screen per se, they're like, well, this is off. Or what it's going to look like on people's TVs, on their 4K TVs. You're going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? So anyways, that's that. That's my little update about my computer, Mac Mini, which is, going good. See, what else is going on? So Rachel, going strong, guys. We're getting so close. End of January, life will change for me, and I'm sure for the better. So, nothing really to report. When we get the baby room completely set up, I will give you guys a tour of that. But it's pretty exciting. I keep saying it. I'm scared. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm thrilled. There's just so many different feelings I have about, having a baby. You know what I mean? Like, it's an amazing feeling that I can't really, let me take this off, that I can't really put into proper words. But, for all you moms and dads out there that listen to the podcast, appreciate you guys for being here. And, you'll help me on my journey. Okay, let's go to comments, y'all. Let's go to the comments. Love it. Let's see. Daniel Turner 4264. Perfect name. That's a name. Thank you. I love you, Griff. Keep on keeping on. I appreciate those kind of comments. Let me give that a hearts up. So then you have so he said that, but then he also had a negative comment where he's like, if no good guests do a crazy, touchy subject, I personally haven't watched any of it in over a year, So it is what it is. This is what's going to happen. But I will address that. I'm probably gonna. I want to rebrand the podcast. I mean, I'm getting close to 300 episodes, and I'm like, all right, do I want to keep doing it like this, or do I want to have something specific? So I almost feel like I want to rebrand Riffin with Griffin and just make it about TVs and movies, or and occasionally have guests. I don't know. I have to figure it out. But having guests is hard because I do it here at my place, and I don't want to. Now that I'm about to have a baby, I know Rachel's gonna be like, I don't want strangers coming here, or even people that we know. So I don't know if I'm gonna have guests, like that, or I have to figure out like going someplace else. I kind of like doing it remote with Griffin, because I did that when I went to Dane Cook's house and I interviewed him at his place, and I loved that episode just because of like the nature of it. So I'm still figuring it out, y'all. I'm still figuring it out, but we'll see what I want to do, or maybe I just don't even want to do this anymore too. That's another option. So we'll see. So here's somebody like this is one of these like fact check things we have to do, but Mav Miller says nicotine is actually healthy for your brain. It's the only chemical in cigarettes that are bad news. Love the show. Love your takes on, even if they aren't based off straight facts. But hey, it's Riffin with Griffin, not the 100% factually scientifically correct show. I love that comment. That's great. And that's so true. Thank you for even saying that. This is not the 100% factually scientifically correct show. Thank you. This is just my thoughts. I'm no expert, And when it comes to like nicotine and stuff like that, or even like caffeine and coffee, there's moderation. I don't think that like just because nicotine, there's something in nicotine that might be good for your brain, but like weigh the cost. So like imagine like you're like a smoker and you're like, this is helping my brain, but then it's causing lung cancer and throat cancer and like, a strain on the economy of billions of dollars in medical and all that stuff because of what smoking causes. I mean, you have to weigh the pros and cons. So yeah, that might be true. There might be some like, hey, are there any benefits of nicotine? But that's not the same as what people are doing. The smoking, the carcinogen effect of like the burning of the paper and all that kind of stuff. So it's more nuanced than what this guy's saying, but I totally get it. But what he just said is no reason to continue for people to be smoking. I don't know. It's just like, I think smoking is terrible. You know what I mean? If you're a smoker out there, it is what it is, but you're addicted. Like, you know what I mean? Like a true smoker, it's just like my relationship with food. It's the same kind of thing. Like, I'm not saying ban food, right? But it's like at a certain point, like if you're having health issues because of your choices, I think the medical system should count that into effect. I think like when you go to the doctor, right, and you've been eating like a fat bitch for like, 5 years of your, the last 5 years, and then the doctor's like, wow, we have to do this like we have to do so many things because of that. Because of you, now you have heart issues, now you have your blood pressure and all these things that you shouldn't have the same deductible in insurance as somebody who's been, say, taking care of themselves. I'm not saying they got to be fucking Superman physically fit, but they're eating right, they're drinking a lot of water, they're exercising, they got good heart health, they got that kind of person. Like that kind of person, that stuff should be on their insurance, right? So the insurance should be like, hey, we're going to pay for, like they should pay for the gym. You know what I mean? Like your insurance should pay for your gym membership, or how if something happens to you and you get like, you could go to a therapist because, if you have issues, you go to a therapist. If you, if your back is hurt, you go to a chiropractor, you go to like physical therapy, or you go to like, sometimes they put massages on the insurance for that. Put the gym on there. Make the gym part of that. Wouldn't that be great? Then you have incentive to stay healthy, because ultimately you don't want to use your insurance at all unless it's like you're in a car accident or you had some kind of thing. But like, what a strain on the medical system that somebody who is actively not taking care of themselves, and then some bad shit happens in the result of that, and they go to the hospital, and now they're straining the medical system because of their choices. I'm saying, okay, you pay for insurance, but like that deductible should be high. I don't know. And that's what I feel about smoking. It's like those kinds of choices. So I get it. It's hard to like, I'm doing it now. I had to pay a grip. I'm paying a trainer to keep me accountable, and I feel stronger, but it's like I haven't physically lost the weight yet because it's so hard. Oh my God. How hard is it to lose weight? Like crazy, And then your part of it too is like you have to like eat. You have to have some moderation in your eating. God, that shit is hard. Anyways, but good comment, good discussion with myself, Mav. Oh man, let's see what else do I got here. Whatever. Let's see. Somebody. Oh, here we go. Universal. Oh, stupid name. Diddy's just another billionaire that happened to take advantage of people who were vulnerable. I don't think Diddy was some serial rapist, bloodthirsty dude, but rather what happens to certain people when you get that much influence and wealth. It's disgusting for sure, but not uncommon. Yeah, a lot of lawsuits and stuff coming out right now, all these kind of details. I don't know if you guys saw this like new Diddy allegation with Aaron Hall, old school singer from the group Guy. Only people from the 80s and 90s would even know that group. But there was like another, and the thing I found strange about it was like, so you had like Aaron Hall, and he has this song with these like terrible lyrics in it. The lyrics don't, like most things, they don't age well, And then it's like kind of taken out of context of like when you listen to the song or like whatever his intent was, but it's like, lock the door, all this kind of, it's like really like if you listen to the lyrics, it's crazy. But the thing is, it's like you have, and then then people are saying the lawsuit from Jane Doe is like, oh, this song sounds exactly like what happened to her. And so that just made me go, well, wait a minute. It just sounds like, and I don't want to sound like I'm like victim blaming or anything like that, but that just sounds strange. And all of a sudden this window of suing people comes up. It's about to end, and all these lawsuits come up. And in this, people on the internet will be like, oh my God, what she said sounds just like his lyrics. Like what happened? Like, so in their mind, they think that this guy maybe, and who knows, this could have happened like this, but you're saying he raped this woman and then wrote a song about it and put it out. The other side of it is, or this woman had a bad encounter with him, or, was it a crime? Whatever happened, who knows what happened, and then, or it's somebody that, oh, here's a song. Oh, let's make up allegations, and use this song. So it's like you don't know. It's something that happened in the 90s. It's like, damn, it's so tough. We really got to make it easier for victims when this kind of stuff happens to come out and go for justice. We have to make it easier, more safe. We have to normalize it, and then to me, it shouldn't go on the internet. It just should not go on the internet, man. We shouldn't be privy to this at all. You know what I mean? Because then people have their thoughts and opinions. Podcasters are talking about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Weird thing, man. Anyways, enough comments for the week. Thanks, guys, for leaving your comments. Appreciate that. It's just, again, I can't stress enough that, we have to, the system's broken, in my opinion. Okay. It's broken for the victims, and it's broken for people who this didn't happen the way they said, and then now they're being vilified in the public eye. You know what I mean? Because how bad would that be too? So let's say in a certain case that a victim is actually lying, and it is a money grab that they're trying to get. They put this information out. Now this person's life could be ruined because of the internet. That's not fair either. Especially we don't know what happened. You know what I mean? And then on the other side of it is like, here's like these victims who, something terrible happened to them. And now that, so now that they have to be Jane Doe, but then the information gets out, and now they're being attacked on the internet. They're being called a liar. They're being called and then so you have other real victims out there who are like, who didn't get raped by Diddy. You know what I mean? They got assaulted by, their cousin or the dude down the street who has no money. What recourse do they have? You know what I mean? So it's like these like high profile cases are not helping regular people. I'm so tired of these dumb comments like, go girl, yeah girl, it's about time you could, like, that's not helping. Like, there's actually somebody out there who was like, damn, my boss raped me, my my neighbor or like, all these terrible situations that happen, and they don't have any way to come out and like it goes on the internet and we're all talking about it. Oh, that neighbor's terrible. We should know. They're scared. They know they're not going to be believed. And it's like, but nobody's championing for them. So stop acting like these high profile cases are helping victims. Cause in my opinion, they aren't, they are not, they aren't, they're not helping. They're not doing the thing that you think they're doing. And if you just want to champion that one rich, famous girl who's now richer and more famous, okay, great, go girl. But like, don't act like that's helping victims, because it's not. Whew, went off right there, huh, guys? Oh man, I want to talk now about this like weird documentary I'm watching on HBO. It's called Mother God. On HBO. It's about this weird ass cult, man. And every time I like see documentaries about cults, the thing that makes them like fascinating and creepy, or when they talk to the people that are in it, still believe it, still champion it, and you're listening to them talk and you're like, wow, you're crazy. That's just how you think about it, So there's this cult called Cult of Mother God, right? And the cult was called, wait, let me look at my thing here. What was it called again? It was the Love Has Won. Oh no, that's the name of that wasn't the name of but that was like her message. I forgot. I don't see the name. Oh yeah, that was it. It was called the Cult of Love Has Won, And there was this woman, and she like was all about taking drugs, like psychedelics, you know what I mean? And then she had these people believing that she was God, And then when you hear the people talk about her, you're like, and the documentary opens up where the cops, the documentary opens up with like police footage. These cops are like, it's body cam footage, like real, and they go to this cult's place, you know what I mean? And the cult guy, the cult followers, they're there and they're just like, hey, hello, they're acting all like nothing's wrong, basically. And the cops are like, okay, we have a search warrant. And they find this woman's mummified body wrapped up and with like an altar, because they think she's coming back to life or something, Like I haven't got to the nitty gritty of the document, the next episodes, but like that's where they're at, okay. And then the documentary starts to talk about where she came from. They go to her mom and they see, and then there's always like, I love when in these documentaries that have the one guy to realize this was batshit crazy, and he's like, this was I don't know what I was doing type of thing. I love it's like that Nexium documentary. Like there's like they call them the Nexium 5. These are these people that still believe that guy, Keith Renard, is innocent, Like they still believe in him. So you have these sort of charismatic leaders, and they use their power of whatever that charm and charisma is. They just use it for the wrong purposes. They use it for evil, basically, It just happens, A lot of people have like Tom Cruise, right? He got that thing. Like, you ever seen him like talk interviews? The dude's charismatic. That's why he's a movie star. So some people become movie stars, Some people become Hitler. You know what I mean? Some people become Martin Luther King Jr. So like that same skill set is in these cult people. And they have these people believing that they are whatever they say they are, that they're God, that they're like, it's like some existential plane. This one girl is showing pictures in the documentary of like Robin Williams and Marilyn Monroe. And she's like going down the list of being like, Mother God, these people are a part of what Mother God is talking about. It is the most bizarre thing. And I think the most bizarre thing about it is the fact that they still believe it. Like, whatever like is mentally up with the lady, and her name is Amy. Her real name is Amy Carlson. Amy Carlson was just like, she wasn't there altogether. The drugs messed with her. And, you know, she believed in conspiracies and she believed in aliens. Like, they got footage of her looking at the clouds and she's like, oh, but there's the spaceships and, you know, all that kind of stuff, right? You're just like, oh my God, you know? You know, and then you just like, and you hear the other people that are talking about it and they're so passionate, and like, you just go, like, when you see people that you can't convince of reality, you can't convince them of reality at all, that's when you get disturbed. So I would suggest watching it. It's creepy and disturbing and fascinating, you know? What a fascinating documentary to like really see, to kind of hear that from people's own mouth what they think about this person and their reality, man. You know, like this, and this thing is, you know, because the series begins, and they started shooting the series 3 weeks after Amy's body was found in a mummified position. And it says reportedly the cult, and she was a former manager of McDonald's, preserved body was discovered by authorities inside a Colorado home in 2021. By the way, yeah, this ain't 50 years ago, 20 years ago. This kind of stuff is still going on now, you know? This Colorado home in 2021. And it says her followers kept her body in a makeshift shrine because they thought she was Mother God sent to save humanity, and has now ascended to a superior realm of existence. You know, you hear that and you go, I mean, there are skeptics out there like, how is that any different from, say, Catholics who think there's a heaven? I guess it just depends on, how the cult or religion, how it affects people's lives directly, and how they are now then interacting in society. So if you're like, go to church every Sunday, Easter Sunday, Mother's Day, you go to church every Sunday, you go to church on Wednesdays, you're part of a church group, and you know, you have this community, but you're still living in regular neighborhoods, you're still paying your taxes, you're still following the laws, more power to you, right? But I don't think there's that much difference between, the only difference between what this lady is saying about God, the universe, and say a Baptist, Methodist, Catholic, Jew, Arab, Muslim, who all the religions, that these people were taking a lot of drugs, not paying taxes, you know, leaving dead bodies in campers, thinking they were, a shrine. I mean, you know what I mean? And then how people's lives were affected in a very negative way. You know, money was being, there's like, you know what I mean? Like, that's, I think, is that what makes a cult, when it becomes illegal? Or, you know, how is Catholicism any different from this cult? You know, because, and then you hear someone talk about, like, God knows the way and you have to live your life for God. You hear someone talk like that, and then you hear someone in a cult. How is it any different? I mean, I'm just asking you guys. So please leave in the comments. I would like to know. I would like to know what you think the difference is. Because to me, it seems like, they're very similar, right? But yeah, I know. And then Sean Kaneda in the chat, they said there are 10,000 cults in America. Yeah. I mean, crazy, right? But I wonder if in those cults, do they count Methodist, Baptist, Catholic, Christian, you know what I mean? I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's crazy when you think about it, but you get into conspiracy. Yeah, the first episode of the thing that I watched, it was like the episode focused on Carlson's evolving connections with several father gods. Now that's another thing. So she thought she was Mother God, that God is a woman and it's her, the reincarnation on Earth, and whatever man she's with, that she's having like a lot of sex with, this is now Father God. So that's when you start going like, okay, what are we talking about here? You know what I mean? So I do suggest watching it. It's a pretty fascinating documentary, man. Fascinating. So, yeah, man. All right. So let me get into this one thing I wanted to talk about here. So I put up a video. Okay. So I want to talk. Okay. Next thing now is this. So, as a comic, I would say, there's a lot of talk about people being sensitive and it's like, cancel culture and all that kind of stuff. It's like, whatever, right? I'm not going to bore you with that talk. But I just want to give you a comics perspective on one thing, though. It's like, sometimes people misrepresent you. They say you're doing something that you're not really doing just because they saw it that way. And the internet has given voice to that. So now people are in your comments saying all kinds of nonsense. But I was on a tour with Matt Rife, So we were in I forgot where we were in like Columbus, or we were in Cincinnati. We're in Cincinnati, right? And this lady, and Matt does a lot of crowd work, So he's doing crowd work at the time, and this lady in the crowd, right? She's like, everybody's screaming out, and this lady starts this interaction off with, "This is our one night off from the hospital." That's what she says. You can see it on the screen. "This is our one night off from the hospital." I hope you can hear this. I think I have the sound working right, but it might be messed up. But it is what it is. I'm trying my best here, but let's just go through it, okay? I want to play the video, and I'm going to talk about it. All right.
All you nurses are victims.
Okay, so I want to go through this video. So the lady says it's our one night off from the hospital. My first thought is, are you nurses? Because, that's what it sounds like. It's our one night off from the hospital. And I'm like, are you nurses? Matt makes a joke. So are you guys victims? It's a comedy show. We're trying to be funny, right? But is it out of pocket to ask, are you guys nurses? Because when you use those words, it's our one night off. This is what the lady says.
I want to know what you do at the hospital. What do you do at the hospital? Oh, you're a kid. Oh, wow.
God damn.
So now, in the middle of a comedy show, the lady says, it's our one night off from the hospital. I ask, what do you guys do at the hospital? Are you nurses? Right? This is innocent enough interaction because we're doing crowd work and we're trying to see what, hey, what do you do? Let's try to make fun. She then proceeds to tell us, our kid has cancer. Okay. I respond like this.
Wow. So you left your kid with cancer at the hospital to come see Matt Rife? Dude, you cute as a motherfucker. That's
okay. So now, wait, look how I look weird here on my thing. Yeah. So now, she says that, So I respond with what I responded with, right? I respond with that. I respond with like, well, damn, you left your, and now the point I'm making is immediately after that, cut to the mom in the crowd who just said all this going like this, laughing. She's visibly going like this. That's great. I wish I could I wish you can't control Instagram like that. You can't control it like, or I could just like go back to see that. I'd have to play the whole thing again, and I don't want to. But, I mean, you see what I'm saying, man? Like what are we talking about? So this lady, she says that she's like, my kid, you know what I mean? And you're just kind of like, all right, well, okay. Your kid has cancer, and you're at a comedy show because you want to make yourself feel better. That's how I looked at it. You're at a comedy show, and you just kind of want to like laugh because it's been tough. You're always at the hospital, right? You're always at the hospital, and this is what's going on. And and she clearly is laughing and having a good time in this moment, right? So cut to now. Let me go off of this. I'm checking comments every now and then, and this is what I mean about being misrepresented. You know what I mean? So somebody would say like, oh man, you're making fun of kids with cancer. That's not what happened. I'm making fun of this woman who left her kid with cancer to come to a comedy show. There's no jokes about the kid. This is about her behavior. This is about like, wow, so you left your kid and you came to do a comedy show? That's what the joke's about. And here's some fucking idiots in the chat now still not understanding. What's the poor choice? So in the chat, this got poor choice, bro. Tell me what the poor choice is. So here's the facts. A woman presents us with, hey, this is our one night off at the hospital. Okay? This is our one night off. I say, what do you do at the hospital? Are you a nurse? No, our kid has cancer. So at that point, what are we supposed to do? Okay? So then my point is, wow, so you're here at a comedy show and your kid is at the hospital with cancer? I'm making fun of her. And she loved it. Cut to her, head back, clapping and laughing, like in her mind, like, I needed this. Like, thank you. Yes, I've been having a tough time because my kid has cancer, and thank you for making me feel good right now. But you snowflake fucks see this, and your first thought is, I have to pretend like I'm a good person. So let me go on the internet and let everybody know, oh, this is terrible. I can't believe you said that. What did I actually say? I mean, it's so as a comic, I'm telling you that this ain't about cancel culture. This ain't about people being sensitive or overly sensitive. It's not about that at all. This is about, what are your intentions? Like, this is about misrepresenting someone to make yourself feel like you're being a good person. It's absolutely insane. You know? Yeah, there we go. I heard a buzz. It's absolutely insane. You know? So I had a little interaction with the guy on Instagram who was like going in on me. Oh, keep that same energy if you're a kid. Hey, listen, man. I've been, you know, let me tell you, I've told this story before, but I'll tell you again. You know when I knew for sure I wanted to be a comedian? That I had a gift? I worked at a school, and this kid was tragically killed. He was in a go-kart in the middle of the street, and he got hit by a car. He was in a coma. He didn't survive, okay? And they asked me to read his eulogy at this funeral. And when a child dies, guys, it is terrible, and they know more people. A lot of times when somebody old dies, unless they're like famous or they're like influential in their community or something, a lot of times for us regular people, you die, and there's like 6 people at the funeral because, you know, it's an older person and they don't really know their reach. You kind of like, when you get older, you start to like make your circle very tight, right? With kids, oh man, they know so many people, and there's so many. Anyway, I'm sitting in the they gave me the thing I needed to read, and they wanted me to read this and then talk about them. I'm sitting in this funeral. I'm sitting in this church, and like, it is just sad. I loved this kid, you know, and I'm freaking telling myself, don't cry, get through this, Griffin. You can do this. Then, you know, they said the priest will call you up, you know. So I'm sitting in this church, and I'm like, okay, you got this. Just relax. You know what I mean? You could do it. Get through this. Be strong for the family. They play Ave Maria, okay? Ave Maria. You know what I mean? Niagara Falls. I'm bawling now. In the middle of the song, I'm bawling, and the priest goes, Erik. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So I got to walk up in front of all these people. I'm crying my eyes out, you know, and I go up and read this eulogy, and he's survived by his great grandmother, and everyone's sitting there, you know. And then I had to talk about him, you know. It was time to talk about him, you know. And he was he was a bad kid, you know what I mean? Like, he would get in trouble a lot, you know. Not bad like, you know, he's robbing people. I mean, like, you know, just like a normal young grammar school kid. But he was also a ladies' man, you know. And then I just remember started to talk about him. I was like, yeah, he's probably he's probably in trouble right now because like all his girlfriends are here. And something happened. The audience started laughing, and I was telling stories of what I remember him. And it was moments when people were just like, oh, that's the kid we know, and blah, blah, blah. And I thought to myself, damn, I'm killing at this funeral. And I was like, oh man, this is a gift. Not everybody can do this, right? But like, there might be someone there who was like, oh, we shouldn't be laughing right now. But just because you think that doesn't mean I'm a terrible person. Because in my mind, I'm spreading joy, and the family coming up afterwards and being like, thank you so much. You know what I mean? So it's all perspective, But the thing is, don't misrepresent what I'm doing to try to make yourself feel better. Like in this clip, I can't stand when people come like, oh, you're talking about kids with kids. Like, it's like, hey, from me to you, go fuck yourself. Because that's not what's happening right now. Here's a mother who obviously is going through something tragic. Her child is in the hospital with cancer. And to make herself feel better, she decided to go to a comedy show. And not only did she decide to go to a comedy show, she decided to yell out and let us know what's going on. And in turn, we made her a part of it, and she loved it. But you snowflakes want to make it out to be something terrible. What are we talking about? I'm going to leave it at that. All right, guys. Let's finish off with some NBA and NFL talk. You know what? I love what's going on right now in the NFL. So we had high hopes in the beginning of the season. We thought the Jets would be good. Aaron Rodgers gets hurt. We thought Cincinnati would be good. Joe Burrow gets hurt. He has a leg problem. Their team starts taking losses, and now he's out for the season. We thought a lot of these teams would be a lot better than they are. We thought certain teams would be good, and then the season sort of unfolds, and now here we are with a home stretch into the playoffs, and there's some really good football stuff going on right now. So right now, I would say I think we're all in agreement that the Philadelphia Eagles are probably the best team in football right now, record-wise. They're 10-1, but like 5 of the games. So there's 2 ways to look at it. You go 5 of the games they almost lost, so maybe they're not as good. Or you could think of it like they are good. This is how you find ways to win. That this is a lot. Everyone in the league gets paid, and the Philadelphia Eagles just happen to be doing better. That in the end, they win. Even if they start bad, they finish great. Regardless, they're 10-1. They look freaking fantastic. Okay, I think one of the better the next. I think there's 2 teams. Like there's this one list I saw that and I don't necessarily agree with the rankings, but you got the Philadelphia Eagles, you got the Baltimore Ravens. This is what we've looked for from Lamar Jackson since he got into the league. He was unanimous MVP, but he can't make the playoffs and stay healthy. But he wins in the regular season. But they get in the playoffs and he hasn't won a good playoff game. We want to see this guy get to the championship, but it was always like he runs too much. He's a runner. Maybe he's not a great quarterback. They finally got a great offensive coordinator in there. They got some weapons. They freaking drafted a wide receiver. They got what's his name? What's the dude's name, dude? The one-hand catch guy from New York, OBJ. They got him. So now they're freaking 9-3. They look great. Their defense is stellar. That's what Baltimore is known for, is defense. So they got a great defense. They got a top offense. Is this the year? And then San Francisco. I think those are the three top tier teams, like top tier teams. And San Francisco is great. They're 8-3 right now, and they just can't stay healthy. You got this like rookie quarterback. He's finally played a full season of football games wise, and Brock Purdy. And we'll see. Is he great? Is he good? Is he really good? Is the team just great holding him up? Either way, it doesn't matter. From top to bottom, San Francisco has a top-notch roster, so I feel like San Francisco is going to be there in the end. And then, of course, Kansas City, who is always good. Patrick Mahomes might be the greatest quarterback ever when it's all said and done. he's already got an argument even without having 7 Super Bowls like Tom Brady, just because he is the sole reason why they win. You know, like 3 of the first 3 Super Bowls for Tom Brady, maybe even 4, they had a top 5 defense, top 10 defense at minimum, you know, and he was a ball control. He didn't start becoming like pass the ball down the field, scoring a bunch of points, you know, till later, you know what I mean? So, but from now, Patrick Mahomes is the reason they win, you know? So it's like, he's a great quarterback. Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, right? So, but Kansas City, they get the most drops in the league. The receiver, they don't have a really great number 1 receiver other than their tight end, Travis Kelce. So I don't know if it's going to be a lot for them to win. And then of course, you got the Dallas Cowboys, who have a generational defense. But listen, they've choked for 29 years straight. 29 years straight, the Dallas Cowboys choke in the playoffs. That's all we're going to say about that. Miami Dolphins, another team. Miami and Dallas have the same issue. Neither one of these teams have beat a good team. So until they actually beat a good team, we don't know if they're going to be good or not. And then these outskirts fringe teams that are really doing good, it's like the Jacksonville Jaguars. Love them. I think that Trevor Lawrence is balling. You know, Doug Peterson, not Doug Peterson. Is that who the coach is? Yeah, he used to be the coach of the Eagles when they won the championship. Yes, Doug Peterson. He knows how to coach that type of quarterback. He got Nick Foles to win the Super Bowl, right? So I feel like Jacksonville could be one of those teams. If they snuck in to the AFC Championship game and won, I wouldn't be surprised, you know? But again, Detroit Lions, another team up and down, but they're 8-3. What a great turnaround. We felt like they could make it. They didn't make the playoffs last year. They're probably going to make the playoffs this year. They're probably going to win that division. So Detroit, we'll see. I just don't think Detroit has what it takes to beat those top-tier teams or even Dallas. So we'll see. And then you got the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. Pittsburgh Steelers, can I tell you something? They are the most boring, unfun team to watch, but they're 7-4. But I think when it gets down to it, they're not. It's like the Steelers, the Cleveland Browns. Oh, Deshaun Watson got hurt. That's another one that they were on their way. They had the number 1 defense, but they can't win without Deshaun Watson. Who knows? Texans, they got a great story, but they're now 6-5. But they got this rookie quarterback, rookie coach, rookie number 1 receiver. The future looks bright for them, but I don't know. And then you got and then I'll end it off with like Buffalo, who is like 6-6, and I'm done with them. If you're a Buffalo fan, get out of my face. Buffalo reminds me of Dallas in a way of like, you always think they're going to be good, and then they always choke. So, I don't know. But, you know, I'm really enjoying this season of football. I don't know who's going to win it. I wouldn't, like, in the AFC, I'm not going to be surprised if Kansas City is there again. You know what I mean? If Kansas City's there again, we're just going to be like, well, and like somebody in the chat says that their defense, yeah, this is the best Kansas City defense they've ever had, including all the Super Bowl appearances. This is their best. So that's really helping them. So we'll see. You know what I mean? We'll see. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes, man. But you know, it's been great. I really enjoy it. And then lastly, I'll finish with the NBA. I think the NBA has been pretty enjoyable too with this mid-season tournament, which is kind of soccer-esque, football, European football, you know, rest of the world football-esque, having like a tournament. I love it because it makes the regular season mean something. They got $500,000 on the line, so every player on the team will get $500,000 if they win. In the grand scheme of things, doesn't sound like a lot of money for like the top paid players on the team. You know, Steph Curry's making like $40-something million. $500,000 to him might be like, oh, this would be cool to win, you know, but if not. But you know what? Number 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on the team, they probably only making $500,000. So like, or even if they making $1 million in the season, if they win and those guys get $500,000, that's like, wow. So I think the mid-season tournament is making the middle of the season mean something. I think it's a great idea. I think they got to change like some of the like rules in terms of like tiebreakers and things like that. But and it counts towards your regular season record. It's nothing different. They're still playing basketball games. They just put some value on the basketball games, and I think it's great. So we'll see what happens when whoever makes the championship. That's the only extra game will be this championship game in Vegas. So that sounds great, right? Imagine that they're going to fill the stadium and it's going to be like this championship attitude feel. I mean, and this is what goes on with soccer. Soccer has all these like mid-season tournaments and cups and, and then they have like the main one. But I think this could be great. They got the TV deal coming up. So I think that's why they're doing this, to trying to show the networks, hey, this could be something big. Because they already added that play-in. I think the play-in has been the best thing for the NBA. It's so good because the last 4 weeks of the season, it now means something, because now you could be a 12th seed and you're like 3 games out of the 10th spot to make the play-in. You have something to play for. Before, you're 12th seed, you're just like, now it's all about like, well, now I got to be professional to play well. But now you're given a chance to everyone basically to try to make the playoffs. It inspires the fan base. It keeps everybody like, oh man, this is great. My team can still make the playoffs. So I think that these two things they've added to the NBA has made the NBA a little more exciting, a little more watchable. And then it's great to see like all these different teams who are like stepping up and have better teams too. So there's actually a lot more parity in the NBA. Like the Magic are 12-5 right now. Like what? The Magic out of nowhere, they're on like a 7-game winning streak. They're balling. And then we're finally getting like, again, here's the Suns. Kevin Durant hurt. I talk about this all the time. Kevin Durant will never play 82 games again for the rest of his career, okay? So he'll miss like 20, 30 games every single year because he's 35 and he plays hard. It just is what it is. And then it's like that guy that they traded for, what's his name? From the Washington, Bradley Beal. This dude hasn't even played. It's like, what? Anyways, Celtics, still good. So you got Magic, the Suns, the Celtics. Celtics, they've been good. 14-4. Can they get over the hump? We'll see. Timberwolves are playing good. They got a winning record right now. 76ers got rid of James Harden, got all those bench pieces from the Clippers. They're balling. They're 12-5 right now. Oklahoma City Thunder, that's one of those sleeper teams everybody's been talking about. They got a winning record. The Bucks with Damian Lillard, they're still figuring out, but they're number 2 in the East. You got the Kings, who were number 2 last year. They're still balling right now. And the Rockets, who like they're getting their shit together. What's his name? They finally, their coach, the Celtics coach from last year, Udoka, who like had that little nonsense happen. And then you got the Nuggets, the Knicks, the Pelicans, the Mavericks, the Lakers. Lakers are 10-8. The Pacers are good. I mean, there's so many teams that are like 1 or 2 games above 500. That means it's going to be like, oh wow, this is going to be down the stretch. I think it's going to be a fantastic end of the regular season for NBA. So I totally look forward to that. But anyway, my friends, you know how we do. I'll keep you guys posted, Oh, my car's still great. I still love it. People like wonder like, oh, you still got that car. What do you think about your Lucid? I think the Lucid's great. I just wish I could have gotten, what do you call it? I wish I could have gotten the this new SUV that they have. That SUV is dope, dude. I love that SUV. All right, guys. Man, what's going on with now my computer is messing up. I can't get to my live stream. It says that the page is not responding. What is going on, man? Why is it Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. All right, let me close this. Here we go. Finally, I'm back. Oh, my car. Yeah, the car is super fast. For chat that's asking me about that. Car is super duper fast. But guys, I want to thank everybody for watching the podcast every single week. You guys have been super supportive, and I appreciate always. And there's many different ways to support the show. So please be a subscriber. Subscribe to the podcast on so you can get the notifications. Make sure you hit the notifications so you know what's going on when I'm going live. So that's important. You know, I'm on Twitch. I'm gonna go on Twitch in a little while here. As soon as I get off this, I'm gonna get myself something to drink, and then I'm going to get on. Wait, I'm looking for my music. Then I'm gonna get on the Twitch. So make sure you check that out. And also you can be a supporter on Patreon if you want to help support me and the show. All of those proceeds will go to baby stuff. So I totally and always appreciate that. So you know what time it is, guys, here on Riffin with Griffin. Yeah. Chris UB. Woo. Riffin with Griffin. With that rap recap. We look back. Tell you about all those facts. Who? NFL is looking good. I wish you would. And NBA. Hey, it look okay. What if I was one of those rappers? Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. You know, don't be a snowflake. Remember, it's okay for other people to have different opinions. I guess I'm saying that to myself too. But thanks for watching Riffin with Griffin, and I will see you next week. Thank you, Chris U, for this beat. All right, y'all. Take care.